Hello, my name is DC. I'll be giving you match analysis for Burkina Faso versus Zambia. This was a thrashing, but anyway, let's get into this. Alright, so Burkina Faso here have the ball. They just cross it into the box, and here's already a problem I can see. Looking at the ball, looking at the ball, looking at the ball. But now here's a difference. They are looking at the ball and they are standing. This guy here is looking at the ball and moving forward. Looking at the ball, moving forward. So what happens is, and then look at this gap here. So he's going to run through, looking at the ball, but moving forward. This guy, he's looking at the ball, he's not moving that forward. And then what ends up happening is this. You see, he was dilly-dallying because he was so close to him, but now that distance has increased because he decided, I'll decide to watch the ball instead of actually following it. And he actually moves further away because you're somewhere here, he goes there. This guy, at least he tries, he does try, but this is a tricky situation whereby make sure your arms are out wide, and as you're looking at the ball, take a very quick peek at the person that you're seeing attacking your goal so that you can just have your hand up and then try and block them out, and you also use that as a means of filling them. That's a really good header, and also the keeper could have done better. And as you have seen, he knows he could have done better here. Look at that. He knows. He knows himself could have done better and the keeper could have done better. And also note, Burkina Faso had a lot of celebrations in this match. And it comes from him keeping the ball, passes it to his teammate, and this is what happens. Sometimes just cross it into the box. But in this case, he should have been more aggressive. He should have jumped with the other player. Instead, he just looks at it. He doesn't even bother to jump. Alright, another situation. High line, ball coming in. And this was another thing about Zambia in this game. They missed a lot of chances. So this is chance number 1 for Zambia that they missed. And this was when the game was 1-0. If we move forward again, another good chance. Chance number 2. Then this was a penalty. They don't have the footage of the original foul, but we just know that he scores the penalty. These guys were celebrating. They made sure to pull out every celebration they had. You see there? That's a really good goal. That's a really good goal. What I do like is his I don't know, I can say tenacity. Look at this. He makes a big mistake, the defender here, because at that point I'm expecting him to kick the ball out. Instead, he doesn't. He lets the Zambian player, and look at that, he falls down, gets back up quickly. He knows it's not a foul, so he's better off just pushing through, and then boom, that's a nice goal. I don't know if it went to the near post or it was a cross, I'm not sure. Here he falls down, and at this point, this is where there's this common misconception of, for example, here he makes a mistake. He should have done better. If possible, he could have bodied the Zambian player shoulder to shoulder, not a foul. But here, if he ran to the ball, if he made a run to the ball, he would have dealt with this. But instead, he goes to stand on the line. This is a very bad misconception that's there in terms of defending in certain situations. But understand, this is an under-17 tournament. He probably doesn't recognize that it's better to go for the ball in this situation. Because look at the distance between the ball, and then look at the distance between the distance between him and the goal, and then between him and the goal, you've seen that, and him and the ball. And the fact that the Zambian player fell down, he had more than enough time to rush and kick it out. But unfortunately, in his mind, he saw that it was better to stand on the goal line. I can definitely understand that. But here, he should have gone for the ball. The ball was more important here. He even has enough time to stop running and actually just start walking to the goal. That's how much time he had. That's a good, maybe the keeper left too much space at the near post. Here, I don't know what happens, especially, or let's, once again, yeah. So here, I don't know why it's so easy sometimes for an attacker to go in between two players. I really don't know. Because this is way too easy. This is the third chance. And at this point, the match was 2-1. So 3 chances, 2 of them came when they were 1-0 down. And then another one came when they were 2-1 down. So if you don't take your chances, the opponent will definitely take advantage. Because what it does is that it discourages your teammates, especially when you're in such situations and you're not scoring. It gives that feeling of, we're definitely going to lose today. Let's continue. Here, Defender makes a tackle. He should have just followed him. Here, everything here was wrong. His body shape, because I want to freeze frame it at a good point, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Look at this, because he's jogging to the left. He is taking steps side to the side. He is running. His footsteps are going in front of him. His footsteps are moving to the side. So already he's moving at a slower pace than he is. This was just a terrible. You should have just followed him and hopefully tried, what, concede the corner if possible. Just escort him. At this point, just escort him because it's in the box. Following him, penalty immediately. Just follow him and just make sure it doesn't put in a good cross. And already here, another instance, looking at the ball, looking at the ball, looking at the ball. It's not bad to look at the ball, but you have to be very aware of your surroundings, because there is this gigantic gap that has formed. Look at how big that gap is. And I can understand, yes, they're trying to defend, but they've committed so many people. But this is just too big. I mean, look at this. Let's do this. I love using this straight line too. Let's, for the benefit of doubt, let's just do that. How many players are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's not in the box, so let's not count him. And they've left all this space here. Very shocking. Alright, so he puts in a very decent cross, and yeah, because of the space they've left, and I feel as if he slowed down and just let him run. Lovely goal. Lovely, lovely goal. Look at this. And it's this. I don't know if he was injured or not, but if he was injured, it's one of those tough situations. It's not a head injury. The referee cannot stop it. But if he was faking it, I would be shouting at him in the dressing room. Not outside, because you want to keep sort of that facade in case it goes down. But if he's faking it, I'd go and shout at him, because that's what probably cost them this goal. If he just followed, and can you imagine, instead of running down the line, he's running straight. So by the time he reaches here, this guy is gone. And once again, look at all this space here. There is so much space. You can build the upstairs in this space that's here. You can build an upstairs, and that's a lovely goal. Here, once again, too much space. I'm sure it's a situation where they're trying to attack, but they've left a lot of space behind, hoping to get a goal. I mean, I don't know if this is a back 4, a back 3, but I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be like this, because I'm pretty sure this guy can afford to be a little more closer, even though, yes, it's a lot of space that I've left, but he can definitely afford to be a bit. Yeah, it's at this point, it's too late. Wow, he sits the goalkeeper down and scores. And Burkina Faso, oof, they were celebrating. And the fact that he's not under any pressure. It's one of those things, as the team is conceding, their morale gets lower and lower, but you keep on playing. You keep on playing. You keep on defending. If it means you close the shop, and then rather than trying to go and get another goal, we just decide to minimize the damage, it's okay. But what you don't do is stop putting in effort. Because this guy, the players have not become spectators. He's watching him. He's also watching him. They are watching him. They're not doing anything. This guy here, and this is just too much. Because in situations like this, maybe one person should have gone. He should have tried. Because I'm pretty sure they can see the pass. They allow him to play this pass. Because one of them could have definitely blocked the angle. Again, he's stranded. If he goes, and then the boys played in behind. If he stays, the boys played, one of those things. But the Zambia could have done better here. And what I do like is that he has no other option. He just has to go there. And at least took initiative to just try and block it out. Unfortunately, that doesn't work out, and ends up scoring a nice goal. Another penalty. I don't know. Oof, that's nice. Okay, mwenze masama muri game. They were somersaults. That's a really good somersault. The guy is very athletic. this I can only assume that they are trying to attack. Things didn't go too well. At least there's a person here trying. In this point, it's allowed to go. It's it's better to be in goal because this is a 2-on-1 situation. Immediately you go, you pass it. Goalkeeper here, could he have done something different? Yeah, he didn't. He didn't need to rush out. He didn't need to rush out like that. Maybe he could have gone maybe up to here and then see what his defender does. But otherwise, this is too much because he runs all the way here and then he's outside of his line, so you can't use your hands. So you don't really get any. You don't really get any benefit from this. He should have just stayed here and then hoped for the best. Stayed here and then maybe as the player is coming, he now takes action. But he rushed out way too quickly. He panicked. And then in this situation here, the Zambian player, I know for a fact he wishes his goalkeeper was just slightly further back because it opens up the goal. In this case, just enter the goal, hope for the best because it's a 2-on-1 situation. But he finishes it well, and that hurts. That hurts. It really does. Yeah, the goalkeeper, because there's nothing he can do. I would rather he stays in so that he uses the advantage of the box. By that I mean he can use his hands. Then here he tricks the goalkeeper, lovely. And at this point, yeah, there's only so much the Zambian player could have done. Otherwise, Zambia have been knocked out of the AFCON under-17. It's very painful because today Manchester United also drew with Lyon, and then I'm hearing this news that we lost in the quarterfinals. Otherwise, they are young, and I'm sure they've learned from a lot of their mistakes. And I will continue covering the AFCON under-17. I really wanted to focus on Zambia, but since, they've been knocked out, I'll just be seeing what games I can be making match analysis videos on. Otherwise, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.